Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at He Who Fights with Monsters, Issue 3. This is a 2021 series from Ablaze. Story by Francesco Artibani, art by Werther Dell'Edera, colors by Giovanna Niro, letters by Troy Peteri of A Larger World Studios, edited by Kevin Kettner, managing editor Rich Young. I have cover A by Werther Dell'Edera and Giovanna Niro. So with the golem awake, Radek and his friend have to make an escape from a patrol of Nazis, and things don't go very well for the Nazis, especially because their superiors don't believe them about a giant. They take the giant down to the basement while the Nazis try and figure out what's going on, and Radek has to convince his girlfriend to get in touch with her contacts in the underground, mostly her brother, but they don't like him, and they don't trust him, and she thinks he's lying anyway. And we see a little bit about the guy that runs the puppet shows, and what his involvement in this is, and we're left with a cliffhanger ending that looks like it's going to go pretty big with a bang. There is a preview for some book called Laura that I do not care about at all. Overall, I'd say the art style is growing on me in this book. They do really good work with shadows, and the buildings look cool. So overall, I thought the story is picking up. It's a little slow going in the beginning, but I would definitely say if you want to read this book, buy it in trade paperback, because it is such a slow burn that the first two issues are going to seem almost like the book is going nowhere. But it's just build up for the story. This is much more cinematic storytelling than it is an action book. So if you're looking for an action book, you're in the completely wrong place. There is some action, but it's not the focus of it. It's mostly the story about what these two guys are doing. And I think it's a good book. It's got good storytelling technique. The story is interesting, but it really deserves to be read as one complete story and not in small sections. I think that's a disservice to the storyline and will actually turn people off. Plus the cover's kind of boring. Doesn't tell you anything about what's going on in the book. It looks like it's a panel that they randomly chose to put on the cover for some reason. That doesn't do it any favors either. The paper quality is real nice though. You get a decent product for $4. It's just a matter of, are people going to take the chance on a book like this? And I would have to say if they read book 1 or 2, they're probably not going to stick with it long enough to see the payoff, which is a shame because it is a pretty interesting story, but it would be better to sit down and read it all at once. So I will recommend it, but I would recommend getting it in trade paperback, because if you try and read the individual issues and you space them out, you're going to be bored real fast. But I would say if you're interested in World War II stories or in stories of supernatural beings, this might be for you, but you'll want to read it in trade so you get the whole collected story as opposed to little dribs and drabs of the story that probably aren't going to keep your interest that well. That'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description for ways to support me, including the merchandise store. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.